Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, May 30th, 2023. Today we're going to recap Game 7 from last night between the Heat and the Celtics and talk about the subplots to come. And same for Game 6 of the NHL Conference Finals, Western Conference, I should say, between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars. And we have MLB, WNBA, soccer, Nascar, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start basketball. Game 7 last night. The Miami Heat avoid all-time disaster as they come out with a 103-84 win over the Celtics to advance to their second NBA Finals in 4 years. Jimmy Butler, 28 points in the victory. Jaylen Brown only had 19 points in defeat. This game was close going into the fourth quarter, and then Miami just pulled away, and Celtics just melted offensively. And you can't win if you have an 18 and a 15-point quarter like the Celtics did. Let's talk about Miami first. This is the second 8 seed to make the NBA Finals since the 99 Knicks. This is a run that is remarkable, considering that they lost their first play-in tournament game against the Hawks, and they had to play for the 8 seed against the Bulls. They won that game. Then they played Milwaukee, beat them in 5, played the Knicks, beat them in 6. And then the Celtics, they beat them in 7, although it was a 7 that was weird. They had a 3-0 lead. Boston won 3 straight, and then Miami holds off the improbable series comeback by Boston. Erik Spoelstra is the best coach in the NBA right now, period, end of story. Greg Popovich, I think, will end up potentially being the best coach in NBA history. But right now, if you ask me who's the best coach in the NBA, it's Erik Spoelstra, who has gotten so much out of this team. Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving are playing like guys that are still in their primes at times. Caleb Martin, definitely one of the better stories of the series, being inserted into the starting lineup in place of Kevin Love and contributing. And Kevin Love didn't even see playing time in Game 7, which is stunning to me. Duncan Robinson showed signs of life in the series. Haywood Highsmith, we've seen a little in this series. Gabe Vincent came back from his injury. Max Strauss hitting 3-pointers like he always does. Bam offensively, not great, but had moments throughout the series and the postseason. So, good job on Erik Spoelstra. Good job on the Heat. They're in the NBA Finals against Denver, which begins on Thursday night. And now the Boston Celtics. If you think their season wasn't a failure, I don't know what you're doing, because their season's a failure. If you don't make it back to the finals the year after you make it, barring drastic change, then your season's a failure. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both came up small in this game and in the series in the first 3 games. Now the question is, what's next for this team? Jaylen Brown is going to get paid. And the Celtics are very likely to extend Jaylen Brown, despite the struggles in Game 7 with the turnovers and such. But if you're Boston, and with the new CBA going up, like Jason Tatum's going to be making $60 a year. Jaylen Brown's going to be making $50 a year. And then they're just going to have $70 million left to spend. So if you're the Celtics, are you comfortable paying 2 guys a combined $110 million a year and spending $70 million on the rest of the roster? Because that's where it looks like it's headed for the Boston Celtics. And that's not great. That's going to put them in a Golden State situation and a LeBron Heat situation where most of your money is going to your stars and you don't have enough to spend around it to make the team around them better. So the Celtics are in a tough predicament here. And Jaylen Brown is going to be the face of trade rumors this summer and into next year and so forth. I really am unsure whether it's ideal for Boston to be paying those two guys that much money and having so little to spend on the rest of the team. Marcus Smart, what's next for him? He's been a Celtic his whole life in the NBA. He's somebody that's going to be in trade rumors. Robert and Grant Williams both will be in trade rumors. And the Celtics can't keep Grant Williams with what's coming for them. Malcolm Brogdon came back for Game 7, but will he be on the Celtics next year? I think the only player that's guaranteed to be on the Boston Celtics next year is Jason Tatum, if you ask me. Joe Mazzulla. We were talking about maybe a couple days ago like he saved his job. I'm not so sure. With that pathetic fourth quarter performance in Game 7, they looked like they rolled over and we're having the same questions as we did in Game 3. So, Joe Mazzulla, I do not think is safe by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, if they keep him, they're going to get an expensive bench coach to help Mazzulla. Because Mazzulla, very up and down. He had moments and then he shrunk when the moment was too big. Like, you see this in sports sometimes with some of these coaches and managers. And I think Mazzulla is one of them. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Boston Celtics. And we will certainly get more into it as the days and weeks come. All right, now I'll move on to hockey. Game 6, Vegas-Dallas, and Vegas won big 6-0 over the Stars to advance to their second Stanley Cup final in franchise history. First one since 2018, which was their first year in existence. The number 3 star of the game with the goal and an assist, William Carrier. Number 2 star of the game with 2 goals and an assist, William Karlsson. And number 1 star of the game with 23 saves on 23 shots. Adin Hill has been fantastic in the Golden Knights' playoff run. So Vegas back in the final. There's some moments where you're thinking to yourself, like, yeah, I don't know about this team in the playoffs. Like, they lost Game 1 to Winnipeg. They got blown out a few times against Edmonton. Those 2 games against Dallas, give the Stars credit. Jake Onger's great, but like, they didn't roll over like they did in one game against Winnipeg and one game or a couple of games against Edmonton. But good on the Golden Knights for overcoming some rocky moments and getting here. Bruce Cassidy, turns out that he was probably the right hire here. And the irony here is that their old coach, Pete DeBoer, is the Stars coach. So they beat their old coach. And Bruce Cassidy's in his second career Stanley Cup final. He was in one in 2019 with the Bruins, where they lost in 7 games to the St. Louis Blues. So, that's interesting. Jack Eichel's first Stanley Cup final. He's really playing great hockey, Jack Eichel. And then some of these guys that are on Vegas now are on the OG Vegas team to make the final, like William Karlsson and Jonathan Marchessault. But a lot of this roster's changed. A lot of guys they ended up moving on from, or whatever the case may be. And then they went out and got some big names to make themselves look like an all-star team. Like, they got Alex Pietrangelo. He's in his second career Stanley Cup final. We talked about Eichel already. Mark Stone's on this team now. They got him from Ottawa. They got, I remember they went out and traded Max Pacioretty, but he's not on that team anymore. But they have a lot of big names on this team, and the Western Conference is an interesting conference. Now it's Connor Bedard going to be in the conference, and that conference is only getting better, so you couldn't have asked for a better chance than this if you are Vegas, who knocks out McDavid and Draisaitl. The Stars are out. The Avs don't have Landeskog. And there's some other teams that you thought were going to make a run, but fell short. And here they are with Vegas. The Dallas Stars. They had a good season, I think. I think it's fair to say that their season was a successful season. Making the conference finals after losing in the first round to Calgary last year in Game 7 in overtime. But it's a nice step up for the Dallas Stars. Pete DeBoer looks like the right guy. They should have the same team back next year, and they'll be in the mix next year in the West. Their veteran core is really good. If I'm not mistaken, Joe Pavelski got extended. It looks like Father Time hasn't really hit him yet. But my question for them long term is Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn. Are those still impact guys? I'm leaning towards no. It reminds me of the Rangers when they went out and got Vlad Tarasenko and Patrick Kane, and they really didn't prove to be impact guys. Except these two veterans have been on the Stars for a long time. But I just feel like this is not their team anymore. This is Jason Robertson's team. Roop Hintz is still very good. They have a lot of good defensemen on their team. Jake Ottinger looks to be a franchise goalie despite not playing well in Game 6. So, the Dallas Stars, I think, are only going up. I would bet on them to be back in the mix in the Western Conference for the next couple of years, barring some crazy injuries and whatnot. So, a good season for the Dallas Stars, for sure. All right, now I'll move on to baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to the games for today. Guardians over the Orioles 5-0. Rangers over the Tigers 5-0. Royals over the Cardinals 7-0. Cubs over the Rays 1-0. So 4 shutouts in a row there. That's something you don't see often when looking at scores for baseball. D-backs over the Rockies 7-5. Twins over the Astros 7-5. Giants over the Pirates 14-4. A's over the Braves 7-2. That's a bad loss for Atlanta. Angels over the White Sox 6-4. Dodgers over the Nationals 6-1. Yankees over the Mariners 10-4. Now we look ahead to tonight's window. 6:30 of the Padres at the Marlins. Ryan Weathers and Sandy Alcantara. Alcantara has been disappointing this year, pitching a little better. Weathers, highly touted prospect that really hasn't found his footing quite yet. Marlins are favored -136. Padres are +116 over under 8. Overs -120. Unders -102. Padres +1.5 is -176. Marlins -1.5 is +146. The Padres really they had some moments in that Yankee series, but the Yankees are throwing the ball around a little bit in that third inning before the Yankees put up those runs in the bottom of the third to get themselves going offensively. But I really don't like what I've seen from the Padres. Sandy Alcantara looks like he's found this footing. I'm going under 3.5 Padre runs at even money. Rangers, Tigers. Martin Perez and Alex Faedo. Rangers -132. Tigers +112. Over under 9. Overs -105. Unders -115. Rangers -1.5 is +120. Tigers +1.5 is -144. The Ranger offense is humming right now, to say the least. Over 4.5 runs, -115. No-brainer. 7 o'clock, Guardians, Orioles. Cal Quantrill and Kyle Gibson. Orioles -142. Guardians +120. Over under 9. Overs -120. Unders -120. Guardians +1.5 is -164. O's -1.5 is +136. I think the Orioles are due for a bounce back offensively. So I'm going to go over 4.5 runs at minus 106 for the Orioles. Brewers, Blue Jays. Adrian Hauser and Yusei Kikuchi, two teams that got off the decent starts. Not playing great right now. Jays minus 148, Brewers plus 126, over under 9.5, overs minus 102, and there's minus 120. Brewers plus 1.5 is minus 154, Blue Jays minus 1.5 is plus 128. I'm going full game over. Red Sox. Ben Lively and Brayan Bello. Red Sox minus 174, Reds plus 146, over under 9, overs minus 120, unders minus 102. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 134, Red Sox minus 1.5 is plus 112. Lively actually has been pitching decently lately, and in Bello, I think this is a good matchup for him. Reds offense stinks. I'm going full game under 9.5 and minus 102. TBS, Phillies, Mets, really good game. Ranger Suarez and Cody Senga. Mets minus 130, Phillies plus 110, over under 8.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 182, Mets minus 1.5 is plus 150, full game over. Ranger Suarez has been bad, coming off the injury, and Cody Senga's fallen off after a decent start. 7:45, Royals, Cardinals. Zach Greinke and Miles Mikolas. Cardinals minus 200, Royals plus 168, over under 9, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 112. Cards minus 1.5 is minus 102. I'm going full game over. Cards offense has been better. 8 o'clock, Rays, Cubs. Shane McClanahan, Kyle Hendricks. Rays minus 10, Cubs plus 176, over under 8, minus 10 each way. Rays minus 1.5 is minus 125. Cubs plus 1.5 is plus 104. This is a tough one, but I'm going to go with the full game under. I kind of like the idea of Hendricks against the Rays. Angels, White Sox. Tyler Anderson, Lucas Giolito. White Sox minus 148. Angels plus 126, over under 9, minus 110 each way. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 162. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 134. I'm going to go full game under. Lucas Giolito starting to pitch a little better. Twins, Astros. Joe Ryan and Brandon Bielak. Twins minus 112, Astros minus 104, over under 8, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 140, Astros plus 1.5 is minus 170. I never thought I'd see the day where the Twins would be favored in Houston, but here we are. I'm going to take them minus 112. Vegas knows. And they're favored on the run line, too. 9:40, Yanks, Mariners. Nestor Cortez, Logan Gilbert. Mariners minus 148, Yanks plus 126, over under 7, overs minus 114, unders minus 106. Yanks plus 1.5 is minus 170, Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 140. Oh my God, I love the over. The Yankee offense is humming. Nestor Cortez has regressed. Combination of that is over. And Logan Gilbert's kind of regressed too for Seattle. Braves, A's, Bryce Edler and JP Sears. Braves minus 250, A's plus 205, over under 8.5, minus 10 each way. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 146, A's plus 1.5 is plus 122. For this one, I'm going to go with under 3 A's runs, minus 110. Rockies, D-backs, Kyle Freeland and Zach Gallen. D-backs minus 270, Rockies plus 220, over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Rockies plus 1.5 is plus 112, D-backs minus 1.5 is minus 134. Full game under, that's high. Both guys have been pitching good this year. Pirates, Giants, Johan Oviedo and John Brebbia. Giants minus 142, Pittsburgh plus 120, over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is minus 162, Giants minus 1.5 is plus 134. The pick here is going to be over 4.5 San Francisco Giants runs at minus 102. The Giants have been scoring a lot of runs, so that's an easy pick. And 10 o'clock, Nats, Dodgers. Jake Irvin and Tony Gonsolin. Dodgers minus 350, Nats plus 280, over under 9. Overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Nats plus 1.5 is plus 128. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 154. For this one, I'm going to go with full game under 9, minus 118. Gonsolin's been outstanding again for the Dodgers this year. WNBA. We have a couple of games tonight. 7 on Twitter. Sky Dream, Commissioner's Cup game. Atlanta is giving 2.5. The total, or now 1.5. Total 160.5. I'm going to go with the over. Don't feel good about it, though. Commissioner's Cup game, Fever Sun. The Sun are favored by 12.5. Total is 158.5. I'm going to go with the over as well. 8 o'clock on ESPN3, Lynx Wings, Commissioner's Cup game. The Wings are favored by 5.5. Total is 167.5. I'm going to take the Lynx to keep it close, plus 5.5. And then last but not least, 9 o'clock on ESPN2, Liberty Storm. Brianna Stewart back in Seattle. Looking forward to see the reception she gets. She's probably going to get a nice hand because she won a title there. The Liberty are favored by a whopping 15.5. Total is 162.5. I'm taking Seattle plus the points at home. Liberty on the West Coast. We don't know how they're going to look. I still think that there's chemistry stuff with New York that has to get worked out. I'm going to take Seattle plus the 15.5. And they're plus 980 to win outright. I kind of think the Storm are live to win. And I think that they're being undervalued in the market because they lost all those big names. But they still have some talent on that roster. I think they can absolutely win that game outright. And obviously, I think Chicago can win their game. I think all these WNBA dogs can win. But I'm going to take Seattle plus a 15.5. And I don't know if they'll win outright. But I'll take a stab on the money line. For sure. All right, soccer. I don't think there's a lot of soccer we have to talk about today, which is good so the podcast can't be that long. So we have results to talk about from the I forget what league it was that went yesterday. It was Serie B for Italy. Sudorol over Bari 1-0. English League 1, there we go. Sheffield Wednesday knocked off Barnsley 1-0. And there was a red card given out in that game. The Dutch Eredivisie Cup, FC Twente over Ajax 4-3. And there's a lot of Argentina and Brazil and Colombia leagues going. As well. That's that. So today we have U20, 1:30 of the United States and New Zealand. I do not think we have the under 20 games. No, we do not. I think United States wins. And at 5 o'clock, you have round of 16 between Uzbekistan and Israel. And I think Israel is going to take that one. So we do have a couple of soccer games we could touch on just for picks. 1 o'clock you have Turkish Super League. Alanyaspor and Kasımpaşa. Alana Sports plus 110. Casa and Pastas plus 190. The draws plus 270. They're 10th and 11th in the standings, respectively, so that is saying something. But I'm going to go with the draw here at plus 270. Anchor Gugu and Galatasaray. Galatasaray is minus 200. Anchor Gugu's 4-1. The draws plus 360. For this one, we're going to go over 3.5 goals at minus 108. Fatih, Karagu, and Case for Spore. Fatih is plus 110. Case for Spore is plus 165. The draws plus 310. I think the draw's a lot of value at plus 310. Fenerbahce and Antalyaspor. Fenerbahce is minus 350. Antalyaspor is plus 650. Draws plus 450. I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals at plus 104. Gersenspor and Trabzonspor. Gersenspor is plus 130. Trabzonspor is plus 155. Draws plus 270. I'm going to go with Gersenspor at plus 130. Hadiaspor and Umranispor canceled. Istanbul BB and Gaziantep canceled. Istanbulspor and Adana Demirspor. Istan's plus 115. Adana's plus 160. Draws 3-1. Adana plus 160 has some value. I see it in Sivasspor and Konyaspor. Konyaspor's minus 110. Sivasspor's plus 250. Draws plus 250. I'm going with Sivasspor plus. Konyaspor at plus 250. That's really good value right there. So a little bit of Turkish soccer for you guys. So tomorrow we have the CONCACAF Championship, so that's a lot of fun. So we'll do that, and we have MLS games tomorrow as well. All right, now I'll move on to NASCAR. We have results from Xfinity and Cup to get into from yesterday. Your winner of the Osco 300, Justin Allgaier. Second, John Hunter Nemechek. Third, Cole Custer. Fourth, Austin Hill. Fifth, Ty Gibbs. Sixth, Parker Retzlaff. Seventh, Jeb Burton. Eighth, Carson Osbar. Ninth, Brandon Jones. 10th, Sammy Smith. The rest. Kyle Sieg, Justin Haley, Chandler Smith, Riley Herbst, Josh Berry, Kaz Gralla, Joe Graff Jr., Josh Williams, Jeremy Clements, Kyle Weatherman, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Daniel Hemrick, Connor Mozak, Ryan Sieg, Raja Caruth, Stephon Parsons, Ryan Ellis, Sheldon Creed, Brett Moffitt, Brennan Poole, Parker Emmerling, Anthony Alfredo, Garrett Smithley, Natalie Decker, Sam Meyer, Dawson Cram, Blaine Perkins, and Parker Kligerman. And then the Cup Series, the Coca-Cola 600, your winner, Ryan Blaney. Coming in second, William Byron. Third, Martin Truex Jr. Fourth, Bubba Wallace. Fifth, Tyler Riddick. Sixth, Kyle Busch, who was my pick. Seventh, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Eighth, Chris Buescher. Ninth, Austin Dillon. 10th, Zane Smith. The rest, Kevin Harvick, Alec Bowman, Ryan Preece, AJ Allmendinger, Justin Haley, JJ Yealy, Corey LaJoie, Harrison Burton, Brad Keselowski, Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Chris Bell, Eric Almirola, Ty Gibbs, Ty Dillon, Michael McDowell, B.J. McLeod, Kyle Larson, Austin Cindric, Eric Jones, Todd Gilliland, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Noah Gragson, and Jimmy Johnson. Alrighty. Now I'll move on to the news and notes for today. We talked about the Celtics likely to extend Jaylen Brown, but the big NBA story from yesterday is that the 76ers are hiring former Raptors coach Nick Nurse to be its next head coach. I feel better about Nick Nurse as a head coach than most. I think he's gotten a lot out of those teams in Toronto. And I think that he's a smart guy. And I think that the Raptors gave him a raw deal. So it's a good opportunity for Nick Nurse, as I think it's a good hire for Philly. I think people are going to disagree because apparently people don't want retreads. And I think that Nick Nurse is a very good head coach. And he won a title. And people say, oh, that was a fluke. Kawhi was on the team. I understand that. But Nick Nurse was also the coach of that team. We said the same things about Eric Spoelstra when LeBron was on Miami. And look where they are now. I really like Nick Nurse. I think it's a really good hire for the Sixers. And apparently, Nurse chose the Sixers over the Suns because of the desire to coach Joel Embiid, and his history with Daryl Morey played a significant part in the decision. That's according to Woj. And then one of the people that cover the Arizona sports I forget his name, but he literally called out Woj's report saying it was fake news. So, I believe in Woj. I don't believe in the guy from Arizona. That's for sure. So some random stuff from the game from last night. Jason Tatum had a Game 7 jacket as he was channeling his inner Kevin Garnett. That didn't work out. Charles Barkley gave the Celtics a hard time at halftime and said the Celtics were giving him a headache. Jason Tatum says he was a shell of himself as he explains his impact of the ankle injury suffered during the first play of the game. And yeah, that was a big deal. I don't know if Boston wins the game if he doesn't have that ankle injury in the very beginning of the game. But it clearly affected Jason Tatum. Tyler Herro is targeting a Game 3 return for the NBA Finals with the hand fracture as he's ramping up workouts. The funniest thing, though, from last night is that the Miami Heat troll the Ringers is Bill Simmons as they call him out after Game 7, which was hysterical. And I like Bill Simmons. I think he is really good at what he does over at the Ringer. And he's very passionate. Super passionate. And they tweeted out the waving emoji at Bill Simmons. With a gif of a house on fire, which is really funny. And then Jimmy Butler was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, of course. And the Heat were pretty confident. They They already had their Denver flight booked. Something which caught me by surprise was that the Heat played Ed Sheeran after the Game 6 loss as Gabe Vincent turned on Life Goes On in the locker room after the Game 6 defeat. Well, guess what? It didn't matter. You won. LeBron James had a cryptic Instagram story yesterday as he posted a Jay-Z lyric despite retirement rumors. The Indiana Pacers are looking to trade up in the draft as they have picks 7, 26, and 29 in the first round. That would be something if they moved up to get somebody significant to go with the group they have. Some baseball stuff. Royce Lewis came back from his torn ACL yesterday, which was great, and he homered, if I'm not mistaken, in that game against Houston. The Brewers designate Luke Voit for assignment. 0 homers and a .221 batting average. Yikes. And the Padres claim Gary Sanchez off of waivers, his third team since April 1st after being placed on waivers by the Mets. So, that's something. Liam Hendricks came back yesterday as he got a huge standing ovation, and rightfully so. That's the moment of the White Sox season so far, right there. And it was great to see him back pitching in a ball game. Some football stuff. The Bills and the Chiefs are competing for DeAndre Hopkins, as both AFC contenders would like to ensure Hopkins doesn't end up with the other. The Jets and Quinnen Williams are not far on a deal, so that is good news for the Jets. And the SEC is exploring 9 conference games as the conference is considering a 1-year, 8-game model as a placeholder for potential 9-game schedule to start in 2025. They should have had 9 games all this time. The Big 12 has it. The Big 10 has it. I think the Pac-12 has it. The ACC should go there too. It's always more fun to have more conference games, in my opinion, although the non-con games are fun as well, depending on what the matchups are. But the SEC should have done this a long time ago, I feel. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. It's an easy one. It's a game I pointed out earlier. The total's way too low. The Yankees are on fire offensively right now. I know you could say, well, Madison, you know this as a Yankees fan. They're due for a stinker offensively. Well, that could be true, but what also is true is that Nestor Cortez is not the same pitcher as he was a year ago. The total is 7. Not 7.5, 7. And by the way, yesterday's best bet was a winner. I had the over 8.5 in the Angels-White Sox game. So I'm going to lay a full unit on over 7 at minus 114 between the Yankees and the Mariners. We forgot to do my portfolio. So might as well just do it now. The portfolio segment's where I pick a future and put a X number of units on it. I thought about one. I just need to see if the price is right. No, it's not right. Never mind. But, there's one that jumps out. The pitcher didn't pitch great last night. But I do think that he has a chance to win the Rookie of the Year. I'm only going to a quarter unit on it. Bryce Miller, the Seattle Mariners at 12-1 to win the AL Rookie of the Year. I'm going to make that my portfolio pick. So I should have done this earlier in the show, but I just forgot. But here's their portfolio pick. Bryce Miller, 12-1 AL Rookie of the Year. I think that's good value. All right, so that's it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking ahead to everything going on tomorrow as well. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.